What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another Car Convo. Today, we'll talk about a very important subject, which is how to deal with losses. And obviously, we already know this is something that is very, very important in our industry. We know that losing is a part of our industry, but I just don't think that us as traders, for the most part, know how important losing and the whole idea around losing is when it comes to our industry. So let's start with it this way. Within trading, regardless of what strategy you're using, it doesn't matter. It's a moving average, it's any kind of indicator, it's ICT, it's smart money, it's whatever it is. There are going to be losses a part of that strategy. That strategy is not going to be 100% all the time. It's just not, no matter what it is. So what we need to realize then, because sometimes we just pass over that, we say that, we know that, and we pass over that. But knowing that losing is a part of trading, what we need to now tackle is how do we actually lose, right? Because before you can actually become a successful winner in trading, you actually need to know how to lose. You need to learn how to lose in trading. It's something that a lot of us struggle with. And when I say you need to learn how to lose, that encompasses dealing with losses in terms of how you react to your losses in the market. It encompasses how do you improve from your losses in the market. And it also encompasses how do you protect yourself so that your losses aren't as big as they once were, right? So we know the losses will come, but how can we even mitigate those losses when they come, right? So all of these things are important. And in order for us to actually make a step up, right, take the next step when it comes to us in this industry and us growing in this industry, we need to know everything that has to do with losing and how we should be approaching that. So number one, when it comes to our strategy and when it comes to trading and just taking losses, number one, understand that in your strategy, you have to take this as a sample size. Understand that whatever strategy you're using, you have to take a sample size. So what does that mean? A sample size means there may be a point in time in my strategy where it's possible I could take 3, 4, maybe even 5 losses in a row. But it doesn't mean that the strategy doesn't work. What it does mean is maybe I do need a bigger sample size to see if the strategy really is profitable. Because even though you had 4 or 5 trades that just didn't hit, 4 or 5 trades in a row that were losses, if you kept on with the strategy and evaluated the next 20, 40, 50 trades, what you'd realize is maybe you have 25, 30 wins. Maybe you have 15 wins, right? But you are still profitable out of those 50 trades because you have a high R to R. All of that actually needs to be examined before you say this strategy doesn't work. So as a result, with your losses, the first thing is just understand that they're gonna come, and don't let the losses rattle you in terms of you changing a strategy. Before you change a strategy, a lot has to be done. A lot of research has to be done. A lot of research within your sample size has to be done before you say, okay, maybe the strategy is not for me. The next thing is when you're now taking losses in the market, the other thing you want to do is be able to label those losses. What type of losses are they, right? Because you have different types of losses. You have losses where you completely did not follow your trading plan, right? You just did not follow your trading plan, or you missed one thing in your trading plan, or you did not wait for one confluence, or whatever it is, but something went wrong in terms of the parameters you set to take your trade or to maintain your trades. Something wasn't followed. That loss to me is not as legit as a lot of people try to make it seem. That's a loss, yeah, because you lost the trade, but I can't put that as a loss against the strategy, right? Because did I really follow the strategy to the T? I did not. So I can't actually count that as a loss towards the strategy. That's just you having to speak to yourself and just being like, hey, I got to make sure I follow this strategy to the T so that if there is an actual loss, I can note it down. And if it's a win, I can note it down accurately. The same thing goes for wins as well. Sometimes you're trading and then you win by accident, right? So I can't necessarily count that as a win towards the strategy. Did I actually follow the strategy within this particular trade, win or lose? Ask yourself that, especially when it comes to the loss side, all right? So if you did follow your strategy within this trade, then you can count this as an actual loss if you lost that trade, right? I followed my strategy to the T. I followed all parameters. I followed my entry plan, and it just didn't work out. that is what you call a percentage loss, right? Because the reality is there's a certain percentage of times on average that this strategy is probably going to work, right? So if your strategy works, let's say 70% of the time, what a lot of traders just fail to understand is 70% is just not 100%. 70 will never be 100%. There's going to be times that you are going to lose, even when you follow all of your rules. Sometimes it's not about like, dang, I need to change this up. I need to do something different. What went wrong? If all you need to do, literally, is go over your trading plan, make sure that you marked off everything that was supposed to be done. Was it done? And was it done the way that I said I would do it? If the answer is yes, then you move on. It's just a percentage, or it's a part of the strat. It's the part of the losses. I'm going to win with this particular strategy 70% of the time, and 30% of the time I'm just not going to win. That's just what it is. But over a big sample size, right? Over the next 100 trades, winning 70 out of the next 100 trades sounds pretty good. So the next thing we need to analyze when it comes to losses, right, is how you react to your losses, okay? How you react to your losses is very important here. So we know trading in general, although they tell you to strip your emotions away in trading, trading is a very emotional endeavor. It just is going to be emotional, right? The reality is you could never strip your emotions away. The most you can do is try to control them to a degree. And with controlling them comes a better impact on your overall trading. So when you take certain losses in the market, sometimes we take it a little too hard on ourselves, but we need to analyze why we're taking it too hard on ourselves. Are we taking it so hard on ourselves because of the amount of money we lost? If that's so, then maybe you need to reanalyze, did I over leverage on this trade? Did I just risk too much? Was I overconfident? Did I actually, this is again, going back to your trading strategy, how much am I supposed to risk per trade should be in your trading strategy, right? So all of that needs to be there, because the thing is, when you take such a huge loss like that, it's going to be really hard to get over that, right? Especially when you over leverage. So it's not even the fact that you lost that you're mad about. You're mad that you lost a certain amount of money. And again, when it comes to losses, again, know how to manage those losses. If you know that you are going to be emotional, if you lose a certain amount of money, then you're not ready to risk that amount of money. In any trade that you get into, the first question you need to ask yourself is, how much am I willing to lose? It's not necessarily how much I can make if this gets to this place or if this gets to this zone. That should not be your first question at all. Your first question is, in this trade, how much am I willing to lose? And when you answer that question and you're comfortable with that answer, then you know what your risk should be. Regardless of how small the profit might be, that's just where your risk appetite is. And as you grow as a trader and as you grow with your skills, little by little, your risk appetite is going to grow as well. Why? Because you'll understand the market a little more, and you'll even be able to recover a little better, even after taking a significant loss. But all of that is managing how you lose. Again, you don't want your emotions to completely be in control when you're trading. Then you need to learn how to lose. You need to learn how to lose. And then the last thing that I would say when it comes to learning how to lose is actually being able to recognize price action or the pair that you're trading, or just recognize the market. There comes a point, right? There's a specific part of trading where I can't necessarily explain it to anyone, really. There's not a signal that I could give that really will make sense to you. Honestly, you may not even get it in a course. And what I'm talking about is your eyes. Like, I could give people a signal, I could give people a course to learn about strategies, to learn about different things, right? But what I can't give you is my eyes. And within my eyes, within these eyes, you have years and years of staring at the charts, years and years of experience. And that being said, I just know certain times when the trade is just not going to go my way. There's just certain things that price action does, right, that I recognize after years of experience, that I just know when to just start protecting myself because this is potentially going to be a loss, or just to cut it off completely. You see, that's that last part of making sure you understand how to lose, understanding price action and trusting in your experience over time. These are the things that will help you to mitigate your losses. All right. So overall, guys, learning how to lose, don't underestimate that, right? And don't take it the wrong way, right? It's not that you're a loser, but you do need to learn how to lose, because actually learning how to lose keeps you in this game much longer, and it actually leads you closer to learning how to win. All right, so when it comes to your losses, guys, be sure that you are following these things that I said in this video. They will improve your trading drastically, and overall, just be patient with it, right? It's a journey, but just make sure you're catching yourself. If you are repeating the same mistakes over and over, catch yourself and try to strive to always be better than you were yesterday. All right, guys, so let's get it, y'all. Learning how to lose, that's one of the most important parts of winning. Until next time, I'm out.